Have you ever looked at a pile of cucumbers and thought, wow, I bet those would make a delicious jam? You will after this. My cucumbers are really producing this year. I bet I only have 10 or 12 plants, but if you keep them fed and irrigated twice per day, then you can really get a big harvest. Every one of these cucumbers is the halcinator, and I find this to be a very productive variety. To prep these, I'm just cutting the ends off, and then I'm slicing them in half, and then I cut them in half the long way. This will just help make the next step a little easier. For this recipe, I'm going to use the entire cucumber, the peeling, the seeds, all of it. In this jam, as far as the texture goes, you can't even tell it's in there. My Ninja blender works best for initially chopping these up. It's gonna work even better after you get a little liquid in there. But then I'm gonna transfer that to my Omo blender because I can operate this one with the lid open. This recipe is for 2 pints. We're gonna use 700 grams of blended cucumber. The only sweetener I use is this stevia right here, and I'm gonna use 130 grams of it. So this is a mint jam, and I'm gonna use 2 tablespoons of dehydrated mint leaves. I bought a large bag just like this off of Amazon, and I'm just storing it in a different container. To make this acidic and safe for canning, I'm gonna add 4 tablespoons of lemon juice. And don't worry about the flavor, they actually all complement each other very well. Just give that a quick blend. To thicken my jams, I do not use pectin. I use Guar Gum. I find it to be much easier to work with, and it's also forgiving. With your blender on a low speed, slowly start sprinkling it in there. Now it's not gonna take much, so go light and it's gonna quickly start to thicken up. But just check out that thickness already. If you want it thicker, you can add a little more, but this stuff is gonna get even thicker after we cook it and it cools. If you're not gonna can it, this stuff is edible right now. Just stick it in your fridge, let it cool some, and it'll be ready to consume within a few hours. But I am canning about 20 pints. I'm gonna bring this to a very light boil. Then I'm gonna reduce my heat to a low heat and let it simmer for 20 minutes. You need to stir this often. This jam is very easy to scorch. Don't ask me how I know. And after 20 minutes, it's smelling nice and minty around here. My jars have been warming in the sun, and this is important because we don't want that hot jam to shock a cold jar, causing it to break. This stuff is gonna thicken very quickly as it cools, so get your jars loaded ASAP, leaving that ½ inch head space. Be sure to clean these rims good. A little distilled vinegar on your cloth will work even better. Seals on, rings on, fingertip tight. I can fit 10 jars in the bottom of this canner. And if I place one of these dividers on top of those, I can stack 10 more. This is water bath canning, so these jars need to be completely submerged. I'm gonna bring the pot to a rolling boil. At that point, I'll cover them up and let them continue to boil and process for only 10 minutes. Your pot really should be taller than this to double stack, but this one does do the trick, but just barely. They'll sit right here and cool off. In the morning, I'll remove the rings, clean them up, and store them in my cool room until we're ready to consume them. But how does it taste? Well, shockingly, nothing at all like a cucumber. Think more like of a mint ice cream. It's amazingly delicious, it's packed full of nutrients from the cucumbers, and it's very low calorie because I used the stevia. If you like anything that's mint flavored, you absolutely love this, and I hope you never look at another pile of cucumbers the same again. Happy canning, y'all.